I still think we're in a great position, right? No reach is the thing, though. We've lost our reach. That could be bad. At the very least, we can... oh, stop it. We get the draw, plus we get to fight. Archon's Gonzo again. Land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. I guess the reach is a requirement. Plus we get the draw, plus we get to fight, which is just so much fun. Taking out these Pegasi tokens. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. We're chilling within Mythic today, 751. Amonkhet Remastered just hit Arena. We have a ton of new cards to be farming. We can buy packs, play seals, play drafts. So no matter which way you want to go to be getting these cards, you can get there. Rotation season hits in September. We're getting close to that. This will be the second rotation season within Arena. So the historic card pool is getting massive. And I think this will become the dominant queue within Arena as we progress. However, for those of you just starting out, you may struggle to get into the historic pool because it is so vast and you don't have quite the card pool to get there. So we are talking standard today, and Wizards was nice enough to release 15 new free-to-play decks to you guys. And we're gonna go through and upgrade these decks within the following week or two, incorporating rares and mythics that you will only use within top meta decks. We don't want you guys spending your wildcards or trying to farm for wildcards that you will not use in other top meta decks. These decks are great, they're good entry, but they're not going to get you into the top mythic rank, right? We're gonna need to be using those top tiered 1 decks to get there. So to do so, we're gonna be using these decks to farm and my other free-to-play budget decks. Be sure to check those out as well. However, lots of you don't have the uncommons for that yet, so this is a great start. And I want to show you guys some potential upgrade guides for each of these decks to make them more competitive, get you farming cards at an expedited rate, maybe even competing in some of those constructed and historic events. So with that being said, if you find any value within this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share the channel out to a friend. If you've been enjoying any content on the channel, I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. It's a great free way to support me along this journey. We've got everything from free-to-play budget beginner guides, just general Magic the Gathering Arena beginner guides talking about the principles and archetypes behind this amazing game, some of the top-ranked standard decks, the best historic decks, great original Brawl decks, and some tools and tips, and then we even have a little bit of limited. So no matter what you're into within Magic the Gathering Arena, we have you covered. Subscribe to the channel, join for your chance to win up to 500,000 gems. Make sure to check out our Discord and enjoy this video. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. We're continuing on with our starter deck upgrade guides, playing Massive Menagerie, and I have no idea how to pronounce this. You're gonna have to let me know in the comments. As always, I've been told that it means zoo, and I can only assume that it has French origin by the way that my lack of pronunciation skill forces me to say that word with some sort of weak French accent, I guess. Anyways, we're gonna take a look at the original deck, talking about the new rares that you guys were able to add to your collection. If you are new to the game, we'll discuss quickly the deck's strategies, the strengths, the weaknesses. Then we're gonna look at my upgraded list, where we will first touch on all of the cards I've incorporated into the deck, and then we're gonna go through the list A to Z, talking about all of the cards. Then we'll talk about the deck strategies, the synergies, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, how do all of the cards work together. Then we'll watch some gameplay footage where we break down any playlines and interactions between this deck and the rest of the Play 2021 meta, which will be a lot of fun. And then finally, we have my closing thoughts. So today is a big day. I think we are hitting 10,000 subs, within a few hours. So that is incredible. Tomorrow or potentially yesterday or today, depending on when this comes out for you guys, we have the 10,000 sub giveaway stream. So don't miss out on that. If you missed out on it, sadly, this is because you're not subscribed or, you got your notifications on, any of that. So, go ahead and click those on for the future and you won't miss out because this kind of things happens a lot here. So getting right into it, let's talk about the rares we got. Thorn Mammoth. This is non-competitive, a 7-drop that is very expensive. It does have a nice effect that when it enters, it's going to fight another target creature. And then when another creature enters the battlefield, it'll do that a recurring. So this, for me, is a Brawl card. I love this in green Brawl decks. However, it's not going to see play in Standard, maybe in some weird jank Historic. But nonetheless, Thorn Mammoth is a very powerful card, especially if you can get it in play and have it stay in play a few turns. Moving on, the Titan Ape, Kolga. This is a great card, but again, not seeing competitive play. We've seen it a little bit when people were, flashing things out with Hysterics, etc. It's a 7/6. We can give it indestructible, and it fights when it enters the battlefield. So, a similar card to the Mammoth. Not quite as good because it's not a continual fight, but it does have the survivability and the fact that you can give it indestructible. Sublime Epiphany. So this actually will see, ranked play a little bit in certain decks, and it's a great jank card. We get to do a whole bunch of things similar to Casualties of War. Choose one or more, which is a great way to start a card out, right? Counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token copy of a creature that you control, and target player draws a card. So we can do one of those, we can do all of those. So that is just, to me, an amazing card. Serpent of Yawning Depths. Now this card, I don't think is going to see competitive play. It might see some weird jank, but again, it's cool to have it in the deck if you don't have some of those higher powered cards. But if you are looking to upgrade this deck to use it as its full potential, I don't think this really fits that great. It's a 6/6, and it and other cards of similar type, Krakens, Leviathans, Octopuses, and Serpents, that we control can't be blocked except by creatures of that similar kind. We've got Elder Gargaroth. Now this is the Mythic within the deck, and it is powerful. It sees competitive play in a few different decks, and it is great in jank as well. A 6/6, Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. Whenever it attacks or blocks, choose one. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token. You gain 3 life or draw a card. Just one of those. It's not like the Epiphany where you can do multiples. But regardless, the Elder Gargaroth is an amazing card. That's it. It is pretty light on those rares and mythics within this deck. The one Gargaroth and the Epiphany is really all that's useful. We also have the Temple of Mystery that's useful here as well. So the main premise and strategy within this deck is to ramp, play big creatures, execute draw and fight effects off of those creatures, and then smash your opponent through utilitarian forms of trample. We've got it on our Brushwag. We've got our Fully Grown that can put trample on anything we want. Ram through utilizes trample for removal, and then we talked about the draw through the Snapper, through the Keeper of Fables, through the Gargaroth, and then we have the fight effect through the Mammoth and through Kolga as well, right? And then like a little bit of weird shenanigans through our Whale, which again I didn't even touch on because I've never seen this card. I don't think we'll see this card. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 red pirate creature token with this creature cannot block, and creatures you control attack each combat if able. So it just makes your opponent have to attack into your blockers, basically. And then spells your opponents cast that target. The Whale costs 3 more to cast. It costs 7. I don't think that that's the greatest card. So that's the deck. Ramp, play the creatures, put trample on, smash your opponent. Easy as that. Let's take a look at my upgraded version. Alright, so here we have our upgraded version. A lot of what we do is make the deck more consistent while trying to not stray too far away from the already in place archetypes or strategies within the deck. So to do this, we are still ramping, right? We've got our Wolf Willow, we've got our Cultivates, we've got our Visionaries. We're still drawing through our Snapper and our Fables. We've incorporated the Great Henge. This does a couple things for us, right? Where we get +1/+1 counters, makes our creatures stronger. We get to draw, and we're able to ramp and gain life. So the Great Henge does a lot for us, and it goes very well with the deck, considering all of the high-cost creatures we have to reduce its cost. Of course, we've incorporated 3 more Temple of Mysteries to make the land base a little bit more consistent. As always, we've not dropped the rares that come within the deck, just in case you don't have a lot of them. I've thrown in Best the Sea God in there because we have this from our other deck, so you'll all have access to this Mythic. And I just think that it goes within the deck quite nicely. The 8/8 is a huge body. It's got hexproof, so they're needing to deal with it, and then it taps all their creatures, so all of your guys can go in and then you can even gain control of something if you cannot finish the game there, right? We've also incorporated the Stonecoil Serpent. 4 of these. It's great. Reach, trample, protection from multicolored. Enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counters on it. So this could be an early drop if we need, right? It could also be a later drop to trigger our Snapper with 5 or greater, right? So very, very cool in that aspect. This deck doesn't have too many upgrades because I didn't want to take it too far away from what it originally was. But we are still focusing on, you know, all of that ramp that we can possibly get through the Cultivate, through the Visionary, through the Haven, and then getting these big creatures out like the Snapper, like Thorn Mammoth, right? Get the draw, get the fight effect, and then we just smash our opponent's creatures. You know, we got the Disruption through our Epiphany if we get there, and then the Great Henge should be just a little bit added protection to keep that draw coming so you don't burn yourself out and get into the top decks. So yeah, the only upgrades we've made are the Great Henge, right? Stonecoil Serpent, and the Lance. As far as adjusting the deck, I think we have played with the numbers a little bit. I think we added another Keeper of Fables. You know, we added the Cultivates. We adjusted the Visionaries and the Ram-Throughs, I believe, and even the Havens. So a little bit of adjusting as far as the totals go. And so if you don't have all these or you have more of them, go ahead. Put another Elder Gargaroth in there. It certainly goes well. And you could afford to put, you know, another one in there if you want, if you have it. If not, don't worry about spending your mythics. Take the original deck and upgrade it. Go from there and work your way towards this and then beyond, right? You could even, if you wanted, play something like Questing Beast within this deck. And now the only reason I didn't play Questing Beast is because it doesn't have the converted mana cost of 5 or greater to draw a card. It's only 4, but it would still work very, very well. Let's take a look at the deck list in its whole. 2 copies of Witching Well. This is an artifact for 1. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2. We can pay 4 plus sacrifice it to draw 2 cards. We talked about the Serpent already. 0/0 reach, trample, protection from multicolored. Enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 tokens on it, which is really, really nice. We also have 4 copies of Ram-Through. This is our first 2-drop. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. If the creature you control has trample, excess damage dealt to that creature's controller will go through, which is quite nice. Willow Haven ×3, an enchantment aura. We get to enchant land, and it will add an additional forest or green symbol whenever we tap it to add its normal mana. We can also pay 5 to sacrifice it to create a 2/2 wolf creature token only during our turn. 4 copies of Llanowar Visionary, our first 3-drop, 2/2, and enters the battlefield, draw a card. We can tap it to add a green mana source. 3 copies of Fully Grown, target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Put a trample counter on it. 3 copies of Cultivate, sorcery speed. Search your library for 2 basic lands, put 1 into the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand, shuffle your library. Onto our 4-drops, 3 copies of Thunderous Snapper, a 4/4, and whenever we cast a spell with converted mana cost 5 or greater, draw a card. 2 copies of Keeper of the Fable, 4/5, whenever 1 or more non-human creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Elder Gargaroth, we talked about 6/6, reach, trample, vigilance. Whenever it attacks or blocks, choose 1, create a 3/3 token, gain 3 life, or draw a card. 9, the Great Henge, costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, can be reduced to as little as 2. We can tap it to add 2 mana and gain 2 life, and whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. Thorn Mammoth, we talked about this, 6/6 with trample. Whenever it or another creature enters the battlefield under our control, it will fight up to 1 target creature we don't control. Pursued Whale, 8/8. When it enters the battlefield, the opponent creates a 1/1. With this creature cannot block, and creatures you control attack each combat if able. Spells your opponents cast that target the whale cost 3 more to cast. Kolga, the Titan Ape, 7/6. When it enters the battlefield, fight target creature we don't control. Whenever it attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls, and we can pay 2 to return a human we control to its owner's hand, and then giving him indestructible until end of turn. The Epiphany we talked about. For 6, choose 1 or more, counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token of a creature that we control, and target player draws a card. Serpent of Yawning, depth 6/6. Krakens, Leviathans, Octopuses, Serpents that we control cannot be blocked except by creatures of the aforementioned type. These spells are accompanied by 9 islands, 11 forests, and 4 Temple of Mysteries. Whew! I think we got through that fairly well. And again, we already have touched on the deck strategy. We'll talk about opening hand. Personally, I love to have a little bit of draw, I love to have a little bit of removal, and I love to have a little bit of ramp. So this comes into play through our Ram-Through, early game removal. Sign me up. Early game ramp, you know, maybe a Cultivate, maybe a Haven, something like this. A little bit of, you know, field presence through our Serpent. That's always acceptable. Or maybe a Visionary, and we could double down on that. Once we have that, we really want to install our draw engine. You know, we've ramped, we've survived. Get that draw engine out so the mid game, you don't slow down. You can continue pushing through without much resistance, right? And this comes into play with putting out the Snapper, getting Keeper of Fables out, just so we can start drawing, right? Maybe even Elder Gargaroth. Once we have our draw engines out, we go into our removal engines. There is the potential for us to want to go into our removal engine first if he has a big field state, in which case it is the Thorn Mammoth for the removal, but I would rather use early game removal like ramp through with our draw engine, and then we'll use the Thorn Mammoth as our secondary removal a little later on in the game. After that, you know, you just continue to play creatures, remove his creatures, draw cards, gain control of the board presence, attack him with trample, and smash him. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that's the general deck strategy. You know, play the big creatures, reduce the cost of your henge. That's a nice play. There's not much to it. You can play your fully grown on your turn once he's declared a blocker, so you get that extra trample damage through, right? Etc, etc, etc. Not much to the deck. It is a very simple deck to play. You shouldn't have any trouble picking it up and learning it, and then going ahead and getting some wins within the standard 2021 queues. So a lot of fun, and I think this deck is viable, at least into Platinum rank. You should be able to crush it through, you know, Silver, Bronze, Gold at least as well. And then in Platinum, you know, you might want to start looking at upgrading it more or different decks that are more competitive. But regardless, this is going to get you some serious wins and is a very fun deck to play. Before we get into today's gameplay footage, I have to thank you for your time and attention, and a big shout out to all of our financial support on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube. You guys are amazing, making this become a reality, and it looks like potentially, hopefully, I won't be going back to work full-time after COVID, so we can just continue doing this, and I've been having an absolute blast. We just hit 10,000 subs. We did the 500,000 gem giveaway again. If you're interested in that, join the Discord, because we're doing that again at 100K, and each time it triggers quicker and quicker, right? So believe it or not, the longest gap was between 1 to 10 subscribers. It took longer to get to 10 than it's taken to get from 100 to 1,000 and from 1,000 to 10,000. So crazy stuff. I am live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. at 7, or after the YouTube live. It could be as late as 7:30. We do jump on to Twitch, and then we're there all day until 6 p.m., in which point we transfer back over to YouTube for another live. We're on all times at Mountain Standard Central always, so if you don't want to do the conversions, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications, view the bells, etc., etc., so you don't miss out, right? Just makes it a lot more easy and carefree for you guys who want to enjoy the content. So thank you all for your time and attention. I appreciate it. Enjoy today's footage, and we'll see you in a few minutes for my closing thoughts. Take care. Going first is great. We have turn 1, turn 2, turn whatever we want, and then a little bit of removal. I'm game. We don't know what he's playing, so we'll keep the removal there. It could be creature-based. Mono white, good chance on that. Perfect. I think we want our Serpent in just so we don't have to be paying for a creature to activate these ram throughs next turn. We also stop any damage that he wants to do there. We can tap this on our forest. And then we're at instant speed ram through, which is great. Let's attack, try to pull his mana. We can do this on his turn. Eidolon. Nice. Let's try to take that out. He's just going to sack to protect it, I assume. Yep. Do this instant speed while he's got, you know, not a lot of mana up. Or I guess I should say sorcery speed. Alright, alright. You can make some zombies here. That's pretty cool. Interesting. Let's try to ramp into that. So you're on 4. That's 5. This is 6. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. So that can go. No attacks. We'll defend from the bird's reach. Nice. That's pretty good. Uh-oh. Archon of Sun's Grace. Great card. Let's hope he doesn't have removal for it. And then we can start attacking with our Gargaroth, start drawing cards. And it also has reach, which is great. Shuts down this Archon. We just need to avoid removal. ECD would be one of the worst. Okay. No Eidolon in play, so he doesn't get the draw at least, right? That's kind of a plus, I guess. This is a guaranteed draw. We may as well flood the field. He could triple token us, which is the weird thing, right? So I'm not going to go for it. We're going to hold off. Hopefully there's no removal. If there is, then we are not looking too hot. This Shepherd does not help our cause either. Alright. Let's get some fight effects here. We need to remove the Shepherd. We need to remove the Archon. That's as good as it could possibly get for removal for us. We get the draw from the Snapper, plus we get to start fighting things. And you know it's got to be the Shepherd first, right? Just so no tokens are created on the other side of the board state. Passing, and then we're holding up this Epiphany, which is amazing. We can clone probably our Thorn Mammoth or our Gargaroth. I think both do just fine. He can play things from his grave now. That's not good. I still think we're okay though. 3 mana, 1 card. Taking care of his draw engine off the start was ideal. If we do attack with Gargaroth, he'll triple block, and that will actually maybe get 3 draws, I think, potentially. Take the draw. It is removal. Very good. He can just replay that. That's why he attacked with it. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe we should have taken a token then. Because he can't replay the tokens. Okay. Interesting. So I was going to hold off and play defensively, but we can double fight here. Plus the draw, right? There's a lot of triggers going on here. So Lurrus is dead. The Archon is dead. And we can ram through. We're going to attack with the Gargaroth. It's got Vigilance. Take our draw. If he triple blocks, we can instant speed ram through. Get all of the draws. And then still survive. So he needs to like quadruple block. Smart man. Smart man. And we don't get the multiple draws, I'm now realizing. Oof. He dies anyways, we could take an extra token with us. Let's kill this thing. So our theory on the multiple blocks for multiple triggers has been disproven. That doesn't happen. Would have been cool, but I still think we're in a great position, right? No reach is the thing, though. We've lost our reach. That could be bad. At the very least, we can... oh, stop it. We get the draw, plus we get to fight. Archon's Gonzo again. Land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. I guess the reach is a requirement. Plus we get the draw, plus we get to fight, which is just so much fun. Taking out these Pegasi tokens. And, well, we can't block flying anyways. So I say we go all in. Let's keep the Mammoth back. Double block on our Snapper at this point. I don't really care so much. Ooh, he triple blocks the monkey. Okay. There's another draw. So you can see just how powerful this game is, or this deck is mid-game. I think we're looking at a concede here. Does not feel good. We can put trample on whatever he blocks. Good game. We even have that counter copy available. We go first. Land looks bad. Hand is too heavy. Let's mulligan. I got a little bit confused by chat there with the Elder Gargaroth. I thought they wanted me to attack to try to force the triple block for the triple draw, but it's still only 1 per attack or block. You know, this is a little bit cheaper. This is a little bit better. 6 and 7. But we also have this 7 here, which is amazing, though. That wrecks the game. So let's still get rid of the 7. Scry. And at this point, we just look for land. Land, land, land. It's not land. We don't want it. Let's hold on to it. I certainly hope he doesn't take this from us. Claim the Firstborn is so good. Alright, just roast it. Gets to discard to his library and draw. He chooses not to. Alright. We're still drawing lands. That's the main objective. Sitting on 4. 2 until our ape. We've got 40% chance to draw a land roughly each turn. Careless Celebrant sucks. Blood Aspirant sucks. These are good cards for him. Oh, we hit that land. One more land draw, baby. Come on. Down to 38% chance for our next land. Yeah, we're getting hammered here for 5 minimum. Oof. Oof. Ah! We need this land or we're gonzo. Oops. I mean, even a defender would have been awesome. Deals 2 damage there, gets the counter, also gets the +2. Oh, I don't have any creatures or planeswalkers. So he misses out on that 2 damage, but normally that would hit us. Great hit for 9 here. 10, 11, 12. Frig yeah, man. Get him. Oh gosh, we have fun here. Opponent goes first. We've got some nice giddy up and go. So let's get after it. Oh, Cultivate's good too. Right? Charming Prince for the Scry, I can only assume. Unless he wants to get up above 27 life. Ooh, that's something entirely else. Gives me the shivers just thinking about it. Let's get that land out there, take that Scry 2. The ram throughs on what I think to be creatures. We're going to be cultivating with the Henge. We don't have any creatures to really use the ram through. The removal is good if we get it. Ah, let's get past it. We're going to be shuffling our library anyway, so having them stacked on the bottom is not really a big issue. Let's take our draw, plus we get a blocker, potentially. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a nice big creature to take advantage of all this land. Oof, we're going to need to remove these princes too. Yeah, sure. Take our Scry. I don't think we need that. We need creatures. Nice. Are you serious? Cry. Hate losing against these decks. He's just gonna win next turn. So land wasn't our issue. we still get hit for 8 here at the very minimum. 7 still. Are you serious? What is with these ideal drops? Woof. Helioid and Linden, it's just so busted. Okay, that's fine. It's totally okay. Let's move past it. I think we can keep it. We'll scry, we'll ramp, get a big serpent to reduce the cost of our henge, and go from there. Too bad this is like an elf. It should be the fox, it should be the dog. You know what I mean? A lot of land is the thing here. And if he has any removal, it's gonna suck. The Scourge, that's annoying. He can put counters on a Preserver and then they go back onto the Scourge. Grody. Grody, Grody, Grody. He's a decent blocker. We can draw off of our Serpent next turn as well. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a Serpent. Wow, this guy's going nuts. Get hit for 9. Down to 6, doesn't feel good. We almost need our... Ooh. One, two, three, 4, 5. Man, does that suck. If he has any shenanigans, he'll win. We're gonna try to risk it for the biscuit. Invigorating Surge, Feat of Resistance. Stop it. Oh, both of our creatures die, both of his live. And that'll be the 3rd loss in a row. Even though we had a very good showing in that first round. Woof. I mean, this hand looks fine. 2 lands. Now watch us brick on lands, not pull the 3rd, right? Oh, it's a tough day. They're not all winners. This is why we play these new deck ideas within the play queue. We don't want to blow up our Mythic rank. Sure would like to cultivate next turn. Sure. Serious. Just put my head down in shame. Deep breaths. Here comes the lands. Look at us go. Hit for 4. No, it's for all the other attackings, not on the field, I see. I see. Let's take the draw. That's actually really good. We'll instant speed this. I guess I probably should have killed the Houndmaster. I want this Mammoth out ASAP, if we can survive. Oh, the Visionary. Yeah, I think it's just better. Get the kill there. Now we've got a good defender. Hopefully we can stabilize. We need to avoid a Winota if she's in there. Get the Sea God in play. Phoenix, we'll need to take care of. It's got flying. The 8/8 will trigger the Mammoth. Kill the Phoenix. No attacks. He's got 3 to get rid of, including it, so he needs another card in the graveyard. I can't believe he didn't put it on the other dog. Let's take the draw. We need to ram through instant speed. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the Phoenix. Oh, really? Takes our Sea Gods. Probably a good play. Probably a good play. Would have taken his cleave from him. Alright, we still need to hold up this ram through for when the Phoenix re-hits. Down to 8. He's got plenty in his grave. We're down to 6. He's thinking about it. Right, here comes the Phoenix. He doesn't have enough to equip the cleave, though. Some extra damage. We needed it. That was a tough string there, but we get a win. It's always good. 2 land with a lot of ramp. We go first. Let's take it. As long as we pull that 3rd land. And even if we don't. This lets us play our Visionary. Open up the C main phase. That means we don't have to worry about counters. It's a draw engine, let's keep it. Right. Perfect. We love that Serpent. Let's get our Snapper in, then our Mammoth, and then our Serpent. Looking pretty good. He's got a lot of mana available to him now, though. One, two, three, four. We can use a fully grown, potentially. I don't think we'll see any attacks. I think it's just a weird self-mill. And we are ready to rain down terror, as long as there's no counter spells, right? They have been spending a lot of their mana, you know, on their main phase, though, so that could be good for us. Yeah, okay, Gadwick takes the draw for 4. Whoa. Let's take the draw here. Plus we get to fight. We have 1, 2, 3 available. Let's hit with our Snapper. Let's go for it. It's hard, right? Because he has to remove the Mammoth, but at the same time, the Snapper is so bad to leave on the field as well. Open up the C. Again, main phase plays, which could be for a reason, but I would rather a blue deck spend their mana on their own turn rather than mine. Owl. So he's totally tapped and he pulls an artifact. Another owl. That's pretty cool. He's able just to play these owls all on top of each other. Goes with the borrower instead. Wow, is he gonna try to blast us from the air? Gargaroth has, you know, reach. So we'll be okay there. 16 mana now. Wow. Because he's able to untap it. Spends almost all his mana. He needs to play another corridor to untap it again. Holy, down to 29. Oh, what? That is a big old scoop for 21. Woo! Witching Well. Wow. How are we gonna win this? This is psycho. Oh my god. What just happened to us? We had a good board state. Lord have mercy. He's just gonna self-mill himself next turn. Henge in play. Gargaroth in play. Now we get to fight. Gotta be on Gadwick so he can't tap our Gargaroth. One, two, three, four. This will be 5. More reach. Another draw, another fight. All of his flyers will kill us. So we have to kill something that's not a flyer. No attacks. You know, the 2 creatures with reach does help, but I think he's just going to self-mill, right? How could he not? He just needs to get his devotion up a few more. Right? He's doing it. He's doing it. Bounces his corridor? Stop it! No, he needs the Oracle. Oh, wow. This is nice work. I'm loving this. I think he's got it. That's so much mana. He just draws everything. And then there's the Oracle for the win. Wow. That was cool. I actually really enjoyed that. Woof. Opponent goes first. Fairly nice hand. A little bit of sacrifice, that's fine. We've got nothing going on this turn, not much next turn. It's pretty slow, but if we can get there, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're just looking for more land. Scorpion's fine, as long as there's no priest. Land needs to come and tap, so we're safe there. We need to avoid removal. Pull a land here as well. Plenty of removal if we can get there. Okay, it's not the worst. I think we just take it. Hopefully playing our 5th land. Oh, nice. Stop it. Down to 15. No land, but it'll get us there. Let's get a little blocker out, right? Save our removal. Let's get our organic removal out. We're sitting on what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe. Another temple or bastion of remembrance. Gross. It's a lot of damage. Down to 10. Just defending. This Bastion of Remembrance is gross. We need this Gargaroth out ASAP. I wanted to play the Ape first, though, in case he has removal. We've seen one rider. There could be more. Yep. Yep. And we don't want that to hit our Gargaroth, right? So we want to pull as much of that out as we can. Down to 7. Ugh. Then another 3 down to 4. Gross, right? We almost need to not fight the Gargaroth, because if he plays a creature and we fight it, we lose. So we need this life gain to be triggering on the blocks to even have a chance. Deep breaths. We got this. Down to 22. As long as there's no direct damage. Not another Bastion. And then we can attack and gain life. That's going to be great. Gargaroth saves the day. Really? Trample would have gotten us anyways. What an incredible display of power. Ouch. Opponent goes first, 2 lands. I mean, it's a great hand, but we've been getting caught up on lands, so I want 3. Come on, man. Woof. I guess we could have went the other way, but Let's just get this Cultivate. I think it's a little bit better for thinning our deck, at least. Could have tossed a land, apparently. Again, our first objective always within a match is to not have our land hinder us in any way. We have no turn 2, so that's not ideal. The Hemophage? Is that how you pronounce that? Phage? I was saying Phage, but someone corrected me, and I think it's Phage. Regardless, the Mutate stack has begun to build. Not good. Hit for 5. 6 total. Ooh! Meanwhile, we're taking the entire turn off to Cultivate. So much for our last match of the day. Four, we dropped to 5. Not enough to ram through. Hit for 6 this turn at least, I'm sure. Could be as high as 8. Okay. Hit for 7 next turn. We could have Visionaried with a ram through, but what are we doing, right? We're just going to lose our Visionary the next turn. It's all bad. Watch him make us sacrifice something. Let's let him finish out. And, you know, this deck works great, but we're just getting shut down today, and you can't expect to always have good luck, right? It's kind of one of those things. Luck comes and goes. It's never consistently kind of there. Good game, nonetheless. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. We're continuing on with our starter deck upgrade guides, playing Massive Menagerie. And I have no idea how to pronounce this. You're going to have to let me know in the comments. As always, I've been told that it means zoo, and I can only assume that it has French origin by the way that my lack of pronunciation skill forces me to say that word with some sort of weak French accent, I guess. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the original deck, talking about the new rares that you guys were able to add to your collection if you are new to the game. We'll discuss quickly the deck's strategies, the strengths, the weaknesses. Then we're going to look at my upgraded list, where we will first touch on all of the cards I've incorporated into the deck. And then we're going to go through the list A to Z, talking about all of the cards. Then we'll talk about the deck strategies, the synergies, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, how do all of the cards work together. Then we'll watch some gameplay footage where we break down any playlines and interactions between this deck and the rest of the Play 2021 meta, which will be a lot of fun. And then finally, we have my closing thoughts. So today is a big day. I think we are hitting 10,000 subs, you know, within a few hours. So that is incredible. Tomorrow or potentially yesterday or today, depending on when this comes out for you guys, we have the 10,000 sub giveaway stream. So don't miss out on that. If you missed out on it, sadly, this is because you're not subscribed or, you know, you got your notifications on, any of that. So, you know, go ahead and click those on for the future and you won't miss out because this kind of things happens a lot here. So getting right into it, let's talk about the rares we got. Thor Mammoth, this is non-competitive, a 7-drop that is very expensive. It does have a nice effect that when it enters, it's going to fight another target creature and then when another creature enters the battlefield, it'll do that recurring. So this, for me, is a Brawl card. I love this in green Brawl decks. However, it's not going to see play in Standard, maybe in some weird jank Historic, but nonetheless, Thorn Mammoth is a very powerful card, especially if you can get it in play and have it stay in play a few turns. Moving on, the Titan Ape, Kolga. This is a great card, but again, not seeing competitive play. We've seen it a little bit when people were, flashing things out with Hysterics, etc. It's a 7/6. We can give it indestructible, and it fights when it enters the battlefield. So, a similar card to the Mammoth. Not quite as good because it's not a continual fight, but it does have that survivability and the fact that you can give it indestructible. Sublime Epiphany. So this actually will see, ranked play a little bit in certain decks, and it's a great jank card. We get to do a whole bunch of things similar to Casualties of War. Choose one or more, which is a great way to start a card out, right? Counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token copy of a creature that you control, and target player draws a card. So we can do one of those, we can do all of those. So that is just, to me, an amazing card. Serpent of Yawning Depths. Now this card, I don't think is going to see competitive play. It might see some weird jank, but again, it's cool to have it in the deck if you don't have some of those higher powered cards. But if you are looking to upgrade this deck to use it as its full potential, I don't think this really fits that great. It's a 6/6, and it and other cards of the similar type, Krakens, Leviathans, Octopuses, and Serpents, that we control can't be blocked except by creatures of that similar kind. We've got Elder Gargaroth. Now this is the Mythic within the deck, and it is powerful. It sees competitive play in a few different decks, and it is great in jank as well. A 6/6, Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. Whenever it attacks or blocks, choose one. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token. You gain 3 life or draw a card. Just one of those. It's not like the Epiphany where you can do multiples. But regardless, the Elder Gargaroth is an amazing card. That's it. It is pretty light on those rares and mythics within this deck. The one Gargaroth and the Epiphany is really all that's useful. We also have the Temple of Mystery that's useful here as well. So the main premise and strategy within this deck is to ramp, play big creatures, execute draw and fight effects off of those creatures, and then smash your opponent through utilitarian forms of trample. We've got it on our brush swag. We've got our fully grown that can put trample on anything we want. Ram through utilizes trample for removal, and then we talked about the draw through the Snapper, through the Keeper of Fables, through the Gargaroth, and then we have the fight effect through the Mammoth and through Kolga as well, right? And then like a little bit of weird shenanigans through our Whale, which again I didn't even touch on because I've never seen this card. I don't think we'll see this card. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 red pirate creature token. With this creature cannot block, and creatures you control attack each combat if able. So it just makes your opponent have to attack into your blockers, basically. And then spells your opponent's cast that target. The Whale costs 3 more to cast. It costs 7. I don't think that that's the greatest card. So that's the deck. Ramp, play the creatures, put trample on, smash your opponent. Easy as that. Let's take a look at my upgraded version. Oh no. Alright, well we don't need to save. I'm not sure what's happening here. Alrighty, so the starter decks, you know what? They're exactly that. They're starter decks. I think they're more powerful than the last ones we've seen, and they do a great job of giving us, some mythics that fit within the deck very well. This Elder Gargaroth is the one that came free within the deck, and we're very happy with that. We got an Ember Cleave as well earlier on in one of the decks. So there's good cards within these decks. It's a great way to learn the mechanics of the game. And personally, in my opinion, you should be able to get these starter decks into gold, right? Definitely into silver before you need to worry about, wow, my deck's not good enough, right? Because it's really going to come down to the interactions and your strategy within the matches. First and foremost, right? So don't worry about getting beat down by these decks. Just focus on yourself. Focus on learning the mechanics of the game. I've been playing for a long time, and I make hella misplays, right? So the amount that you can reduce those is really what improves your skill level. It's not so much the deck that you play. Yes, it helps, but not as much as you'd think. If it were that logic, people could all use top tier decks and they'd all be the best players in the world, right? But it doesn't come down to that. It just really does come down to the interactions, getting the most value at the right time, maximizing your advantage and minimizing theirs, stuff like this. So I hope you enjoyed this upgrade for the the Simic starter deck, massive Menagerie within Magic the Gathering Arena. I think it's great. I had a lot of fun with it. We got bashed today, but that's the fun of this game, right? If you're not winning, you're obviously learning something, or at least hope so. If not, get used to losing. And as always, you guys, thank you for your time and attention. A massive shout out to all of our financial support on Twitch, Patreon, on YouTube. All of those membership courses or programs are flourishing, blooming, whatever you want to call it. And I really appreciate it. It looks like we might not have to go back to work full time after COVID. So I've been trying to crush out as much content as we can to make sure that this is a sure thing. And if it continues the way it does, I think we got it. And that makes me incredibly happy. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day. We're live every morning, 6 a.m. on YouTube. We finish the day at 6 p.m. also on YouTube, and we're in Twitch between that, starting at around 7 a.m. in the Discord all day if we're not live somewhere else. So come by, say hello. Links for everything in the description below. We also have the assistant that you all need to download to support me. I get 80 cents per download. So if you don't have it yet, check it out. Please don't download it, obviously, a whole bunch of times to try to up my profits, because it is based on the honor system. And this is something that I would like to continue doing for the time to come. So there's a lot of stuff in here that you should check out. You can even see your stat summaries, which is really, really cool. It goes on and on. There's a unlimited amount of data in there for you guys to check out. So let me know if you have any problems. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend. It really helps boost this video's algorithm and my business. So thank you. I appreciate you. Take care, and we'll see you a little later. Peace.